Yep. Yeah. So see one thing, just while we are doing somewhat an applications in the real time, the database connection is necessary. So which is an essential part and plays a key role while doing the projects. So this is the thing you have to remember. So the database connectivity relates with so many databases. It will be a cloud or Oracle database or some other databases are there. So in our syllabus, they have given MySQL database. I think you are not familiar with the MySQL database. Just I want to show you, wait a second. Just I want to share you. Just a second, it is not sharing. Just yeah, okay. I think it is visible for you. So here, this is the last, I mean, the topic in fifth unit. Okay, I think I want to mention that one. So, which is important topic. That's why we took some more time to discuss about this one. Whether I think as per the instructions given by the college, we have to complete the syllabus before 30 on or before 30 of this month. Okay, so we are having almost all 4 classes. So maximum I will try to give you in detail about this database connectivity. So you people are having MySQL database. MySQL database. So what is this? What database consisting of? Let me just a second. Yeah. So why they use this one? Because this is an open source right now. The people are using, so many people are using, but this is like very easy for us. So while we are doing online applications and retrieving the data as well as updating the data as well as inserting the data. So there are 3 things you have to I mean remember. One is like insertion, insert, update, and delete. Okay, so only in your syllabus we are having these things only. So more than that, they didn't mention that. And one more thing is also available, which is we call it as result set. So this result set is an interface in Java. By using this interface, we are going to, I mean, update the data. So nothing else, like simply just 2 things I want to mention. One is like your front end is like a Java. So Java application, what you are doing, it will be like, so just wait a second. They will follow in these rules, M, V, and C. So each and every organization follow this one, which we call it as M as a model and V as a view. Sorry. And C is like a controller. So C is like controller. So what is this model and what is this view and what is the controller? So right now we are using Java, right? So model will be a Java file. Model will be a Java file. So which we call it as a POJO files. POJO in the sense plain old Java objects. So what is this POJO files? What it consisting of? Why they mentioned as a POJO files? Plain old Java objects means it consisting of setter and getter methods. Again, I am telling you, this model consisting of setter and getter methods. So what is the use of this? It consisting of a set file, a set one and a get one. So what is this set and get? While we are working on a databases to retrieve the data, you know about the table, right? I think you people are already learning about the DBMS. You're having a subject. So we are having an attributes. In the sense, the column name like serial number, name, and college. So these are the attributes. Example. So this POJO file consisting of this set method and a get method. And again, name for set method and get method. And one more thing you have to remember, what the name you are going to use as a variable inside a POJO class should be the same as the attribute name inside a database. Okay, we'll take an example. I will show you that one. So view in the sense we are having, whether it is a PHP, like HTML, or so many things are there, right? So this PHP also consisting of a HTML. So there is no need to mention this one. According to us, we are having swings. This swings also consisting of a HTML files. So only I am going to mention HTML, hypertext markup language. So which gives us the text boxes and radio buttons, check boxes, and the buttons. So everything will be available over here. So when I'm going to mention anything, the registration form, consider the registration form, what it consisting of the fields, everything will be developed by using HTML. So inside this HTML, when we click on submit after the registration, the data will be passed to this one, and here what the controller will do, it manages in between model and the view. This controller is also a Java file. Here the connections will be established, but there are so many things that people will do, like I don't want to mention that one, controller implementation, sorry, IMPL, just I'm mentioning, like controller implementation, and one more thing, database connectivity. So these connections, some of the connections has been established inside this. This is like an introduction I'm telling you. So what is the use of this and how you are going to use that one? Okay, let me go for a pen to show you that one. Just a pen. See this one. So here I would like to tell you one thing. What is this? The introduction has been done. So the following properties, like MVC, we follow. Everyone will follow model, view, and controller. Basis on that, we are going to do online applications or desktop applications. Okay. So if there is any database connectivity, we need to use this model and view and a controller. This is a process. We should not change that one. Okay. So here, what is a JDBC connectivity? Now we are going to learn about the JDBC connectivity. Let me show you. Yeah. So let me get the JDBC connectivity. Okay, JDBC connectivity. We are having so many examples in this. I'm going to tell you each and every example. So, but it is a pictorial representation. That's why I just took paint over here. So JDBC connectivity. So what is the use of a JDBC connectivity and what it consisting of? It consisting of a web application, web or a Java application. Okay. So web and Java applications. So what is this web and Java applications? It is like, what we call that one? Yeah. This is like a HTML. Think like this one only. So this is an application. So this is a web application. Web applications consisting of HTMLs. What the HTMLs are invoked, I mean, HTML consisting of a JavaScripts or Ajax. So many things are available. So this is the first one. The next one is like JDBC API. So what is this JDBC API? You already know this one, right? JDBC in the sense Java database connectivity. This is a Java database connectivity. So API in the sense application program interface. Application program interface. The words you have to remember because maybe you can expect a question from this. So you just go through this term. JDBC. The first one is like web application. JDBC in the sense like application program interface. Directly it is telling about this is an interface about this web applications, what we are working on. Okay. And next one is like JDBC driver, which is the heart of the connections, which is the heart of a connections. First of all, we'll go for the manager or manager. Okay. So what it will do, every database connections are managed by the JDBC driver. So do we need this? Yes, we need it. Without managing it, it is not possible to push the data to the database. Okay. So these drivers will do a lot of things. So after that, we are having JDBC driver. This is a manager that manages this API web. So from here onwards, by using the JDBC driver, here, now the database is available, which we call it as a MySQL. So all these things are needed for database connectivity, JDBC database connectivity. Okay. So what it consisting of? Actually, these two things are enough. DBMS, MySQL database and web application. But in between that, we are having all these three things. Okay. Related to the database connectivity, all these three things belongs to. Okay. This is all about JDBC connectivity. So now we are going to discuss about JDBC architecture. So JDBC architecture. So two things are available, whether depending on whether you are working on a desktop applications and you are not going to connect to the internet connection. So it is not required for you. So think like that you people are going to develop one project. So you are supposed to use only two things. Now, for me itself, I think I need only two things. So for this architecture, there are two things are available, two types. One is two-tier architecture and second one is a three-tier architecture. Okay. So one is two-tier architecture and second one is three-tier architecture. Maximum number of people, they go for a three-tier architecture because it consisting of web applications. So it consisting of online transactions. So you are going to push the data into the cloud. Cloud in the sense, don't you think like that was a different thing? It is also a database. If the database is available in our PC, we'll think like that is a database. Don't you think that one? So these online clouds also supposed to store the information what we are sending. So all those things are also database. But while we pushing the data, they are using so many query languages, whether NoSQL or an SQL or some other connections. So many things are there. Glasgow, that was a server. So these people will use inside this three-tier architecture. We are having servers. Let me discuss about the two-tier architecture. So what it consisting of? So directly there are only two things are available. Let me show you that. I will mention it first, then I will show you the pictorial representation like Java application, app and DBMS. Only these two things are available. That's why we'll call it as a two-tier architecture. So what is this? So this is like, it is available at the client machine. This is available at the client machine. So the database property protocols are included over here. With, I mean, they will follow some rules. We'll call it as a protocol. So this consisting of the client machine consisting of the Java application. So here the JDBC also available because Java database connectivity. It is going to connect with the DBMS, I mean, database by using JDBC and ODBC bridge. It is not over here, just I'm mentioning it over here. JDBC, ODBC. So what is this? This is a bridge. Sorry. Okay, this is a bridge. So what is this bridge? So in our Java application side, we are having JDBC. And at the sense of, DBMS, we are having ODBC. So this is like what we need this one. So it will maintain a bridge to connect in between the application to the database. So this is a separate driver. We need to install this one. And even where is that? This drivers also. This driver is also, this is already available because we install a Java. So by default, it will be installed and the database MySQL should be installed. So we are going to use a server over here. So we are supposed to work on a server. So which is good for us for the learning point of view. There are two ways to handle this one, by using the tools or else by using command prompt. So this one, by using the tools or by using a command prompts. So here, what the two-tier consisting of Java application that follows some protocols and push or update or delete data from the database. So it is a two-tier architecture. So here, three-tier architecture consisting of a Java program, the common thing, the same thing, app or a program. And next one, application server. So here, why we choose a server? Because the three-tier consisting of extra only server is included and the remaining two things are the same. Server is available inside a three-tier architecture. So what is the use of this? We work on online. Here the server is available. So if you people are working on online projects, then you're supposed to use a three-tier architecture. If not, if it is in your own PC, then you are working on two-tier architecture. I think you got my point, what I'm saying. So this is think like only desktop applications. The people were not supposed to connect with the internet. And here, the supposed to connect to the internet and they are working on internet. What is the use of internet over here? Suppose the cloud, the database is not available at our own side. You're not having in your PC. It is available outside. There you are going to modify anything. Then you people are going to use a three-tier architecture. Okay, this is all about a three-tier architecture. So it consisting of a Java program, Java application. So here itself, it is having JDBC. So the same thing here also we are having a JDBC over here. Okay. So next one, the final one, which we call it as a DBMS. Only this one is available. Okay, here I will mention it as a server. Only this one is included, the main one. I think you got my point, what I'm saying. Okay, so this is all about the two-tier and a three-tier architecture. So in your textbook, they are given very clearly about this one. There are there is a connection from here to here. Sorry, from here to here. Here itself, 1, 2, and 3 things. So if you want to write in the examinations, go through the textbook. Okay. So how to install a MySQL? How to install a MySQL? This is a very big task, but just I want to show you. Wait a second. Yeah, sorry. Just I didn't remember that. Sorry. Uh, Unmuted it. So see here, inside a C drive, we are having a folder called a XAMPP after the installation. So inside the XAMPP folder, we are having control panel. This is the XAMPP control panel. This is the XAMPP control panel. Okay. So here I'm going to share you after clicking on that. Just a minute. It looked like this. So we are not going to work on this one, and Tomcat and Apache also. It is like a local host. So the general applications for the registration, for the login purpose, if you want to do any programs like that, you're supposed to work on a local host, which by default port is like 8080. So this is a MySQL. I'm going to start that one. Wait a second. Yeah. So the default port for the MySQL is like 3306. It cannot be changed. If you're working on a MySQL, then the port of it is like 3306. So why I'm telling you about the XAMPP control panel is like, which is an easy task for us to work on. So here, one more button is there, admin. Just click on that. So it will be redirected to a browser. So what happened? Wait a second. Yeah, sorry. I need to start this one also. Wait, I will show you that one. Wait. So if we working on a browser, we need to start the local host also. Okay, Apache will work on, but we are not going to use this. For our working point of view, I just started this one. Okay, for Apache Tomcat itself, in your final year, you are going to get, you are going to use this one. You are supposed to learn a PHP over there in your final year. So it is a local host. Local host in the sense, I want to tell you, you are not working on internet. You are not working on internet. I think you got my point, what I'm saying. You are not working on internet. First of all, you need to work on your PC. You need to work on your PC. So because we don't have any server in your PC, we are supposed to use a Tomcat Apache. We'll call it as. Don't go for the same thing, the Apache. This Apache is like a local host. So if you are working on your own machine, after the testing, after working on it, we are supposed to work on a real time and directly will place our, www. Like you are going to purchase a domain. After purchasing the domain, you are supposed to place it over there. So there itself, it will work on Google server or some other servers are there. So it work over there. In the sense of local host, we are working on our PC. Okay, in our PC, we are working on. So we need to start this one for this database connectivity. It is already connected, but for the browser itself, we should work on a local host, right? So I will show you how it looks like. When you click on admin, share, yeah, see this one. This is a PHP MyAdmin, or don't you go for that one. This admin working on a local host, and it is helping us. This local host admin is helping us to work on our database. So directly you can say like show databases. So just make a semicolon over here. Just a second. See this one. This is the query. Yeah, this is the query in MySQL. You want to check, is there any databases available? It is like directly. So I don't know about the Oracle, how to display the databases available over there. This is like a direct query inside a MySQL. So both the queries are same, but a small variation is there over here. Okay. So when you click on a show databases, directly it shows everything. So I want to create a database. So when we go for that, then we'll check it out. So there are SQL statements in your syllabus. How you are going to do that one? So let me check it out. Yeah. So we are having some test databases over there. So many databases. Wait a second. Let me check whether I'm having a separate workbench for that. Workbench. MySQL. Sorry, I didn't install that one. So there is also one more way to do that. Okay. So how you are going to work on? So right now, first we just check is there any databases or not. Okay, which is good. I am going to create a new database. I'm going to create a new database. For that, what I need to do? So go to the SQL. This is a query you are going to write. Here you are going to write the query. So here I'm going to write create database classify. This is a name. Sorry, classify. So till our program, I mean, every example we work on this database only. So this is a query. This is a query. Show databases is also one of the query. Okay. So after this, I'm going to upload in the YouTube. Just check it out, the queries and all. So how to create a database by using a query? Directly, you can click on a new and you can create directly the database. By creating like this, by using the query, you can directly create a database. So see now here, there is no classify over here. Just go through that. Is there any error? CREATE database. This should be okay. Okay. Yeah. See this one. Classify has been created. So it has been created. So when we click on this, there is no tables available over here. So directly we can create a table by clicking over here, or else by going to the SQL console, directly you can write a query. There are two ways. So that's why I'm just telling you about this one. So you are going to write a query over here, or else directly by clicking, by clicking over here, you can create a table. Directly you can create a table over here. Okay. So like create a table, you have to give the name student. I'm giving the name as a student. And how many columns you want? How many columns you want? So I'm just needed only 3 columns, and then create go. So when I click on go, there are 3 columns automatically happened over here. So what it consisting of? The first column name like a serial number. This is a name like marks. I just mentioned a marks. So here, what is the data types available? So each and everything you have to remember, because this is a serial number. This is a serial number. Don't you think like a DBMS, we are having everything inside a database connectivity. They just, in your syllabus is like just for insertion, deletion, and update. So you are going to do only these 3 things. You're not going to do anything. So it is like if going to tell you about everything inside a MySQL, it is similar to that of the DBMS. And what you are learning inside an Oracle, right? The same thing will happen. There are so many databases. So this is a serial number. So inside an Oracle, we are having an auto increment option. In Oracle, we are having auto increment. So when I suppose to insert a name or a marks, both I'm going to insert. Just think like I'm going to insert name and a marks. So when there is no need to mention the number over there, directly the number will be auto incremented. I think you got my point, what I'm saying. So I will show you the example. So this is like a queries, right? So just I'm telling you. So this should be a number, right? So I'm just mentioned an int over here. The name should be a text or a varchar. You can take it on your own, whether it is a text or a varchar. Varchar already you are familiar about this one in Oracle database. Okay. Now here the text, I'm just taking as the text. What is the length of this? I will make it as like of 3 is enough, 3 digit. The length, what is the length of a serial number? And here the length of the name is like, maybe some people are having a big names, right? Like 20 words or 30 words. Just I'm mentioning like a 20 words. So maybe just make sure that you're having the name within 20 words. And the marks, it should be like an integer. So because this is a number, marks is a number, I'm going to mention maximum marks is for 100, right? So I think a 3 digit is enough. Okay, what is this default? Just I don't want to mention these are the timestamps because these are like a big task, and this don't go for the collation. This is also somewhat a different thing. Okay, don't go for this. And here the attributes, whether it is a signed or unsigned. So this is like a binary or signed in the sense, I mean, there will be a negative words or a positive words. So based on this, we are supposed to work on signed and unsigned. Just you need only these 3 things. And here, this should not be, sorry, this is a primary key. Just I'm mentioning it as a primary key. Okay. Mentioning it as a primary key, and it should not be a null value. Okay, size, I don't want to mention the size. Okay, general thing I will tell you, just I don't want to mention this one. Wait a second. Just... So there are so many things are available, like DBMS and all that. There is don't want this one. Just which is these 3 things are enough. Okay, don't go for all these things. You will get confused. Just for the creating a table student, I am taking the name, the attribute, the column names are serial number, name, and a marks, and length of values is like a 3, 20, and a 3. This is a text, right? The name. So just click on a go. Sorry, it has been happened. I don't want to create this one. So wait, where it is? Yeah, here. Just I want to delete this. Yeah, okay. So see this one. When I created that, when I supposed to created that. So what had happened over here? Create table, classify. So here I am choosing my database name. Here inside the database, you have to write the query in this way. So if you want to write a query to create a table over here, so you have to use this query, create, which is a keyword, table, which is also a keyword, and the classify, which is a database where you are going to create the table student. So inside a parenthesis, the same thing is like for the Oracle itself, it is same, both are same. Don't go for this one. This is somewhat different. It's just created that one. Okay. Serial number. What is the column name? First one, int. The length is a 3, which is a not null. Which is a not null. I didn't choose an option over there. I didn't check the box. I just leave it empty. So the name, which is also a not null. So you have to give the number, the name, and as well as the marks. So remember all the things what I'm saying. Why the text doesn't have any 20? I think I just changed that one. It's okay. Just I will create one more table. So this is the query. So there should be the length inside the parenthesis. First of all, the name of the column, the data type, and the length within the parenthesis, whether it is a null or not. Here, the name, the text, which is a data type and which is not null. So we have to give at least a value over there. And the same thing for marks. So this is all about the SQL queries. Tomorrow we'll go somewhat a detail. Okay, I think I just completed the introduction, the architecture, and how you are going to install a XAMPP. And directly you can work on, by using command prompt also directly we can work on. I will show you that demo also. which takes a lot of time for us to complete that one, because the pictorial representation gives you a good usage for us to understand. Okay, so follow this one. I will show you how to work on a command prompt also. And for the today's session, it is enough. You may leave the class. Thank you.